2022 is over and the guitar community was gifted by some incredible shredding, incredible emotional guitar playing, and today I'm going to show you my top 10 solos from the year 2022. Here we go. That was quite a year, I would say, but it was a really awesome year for the guitar community because a lot of players, a lot of artists released some incredible music, some incredible CDs, and on those CDs, on this music, some incredible solos. We're going to talk about my favorite 10 in this video. As always, those kind of lists are based on my subjective opinion, so it can of course differ from your opinion. So yeah, it's totally fine if my number 1 would be your number 10 or even not in the list and whatnot, or your number 1 is not in my list. This one is just here to show the solos that I like the most in the last year. Alright, without further ado, if you like this kind of video and if you want to support me, then please leave a subscribe and comment. And I would say let's start with number 10. Alright, and number 10 is the solo from one of my all-time favorite German metal bands, and this is Blind Guardian. Blind Guardian has released a new record finally this year. The last real Blind Guardian record, not speaking of the orchestral kind of record, was released in 2015, I believe. It was an incredible record, and the new one is also really awesome. They're going a little bit more back into the roots, a little bit more heavier and thrashier. The opener track was also the first song they released, and it was of course one of these songs that I covered in under 24 hours. The cool thing about the solo from Deliver Us From Evil, it really showcased the composing style of Andre, the lead guitar player from Blind Guardian, and he really brings his trademark licks and his trademark kind of style to the table. All the chromatic kind of passing notes, all the going from the fifths to the flat 5 to the 4th, in between those kind of arpeggio kind of sections with the pentatonic runs. I love this kind of vibe, I love this kind of sound. It's an incredible solo, it's an awesome Blind Guardian record and song, and here it is for you. In my cover version, of course. Yeah, be prepared, there will be some covers here on this list because a lot of these things that I'm going to show you on this list I already covered on my channel. Yeah, and I would say I will show you mostly my covers so you have a little bit more kind of motivation to hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's move on with number 9. Alright, number 9 is actually solo from an instrumental artist who's, yeah, I would say a little bit more under the radar so far. He's not so famous yet. I hope that he gets a lot more attention in the future, and I'm talking about Morgan Reed. He is currently living in Germany, and I had the opportunity to meet with him and talk a little bit with him in the Guitar Summit last year. You probably have seen him if you are following people like the Japanese guitar player Yo Onichan and Yason from Cytotoxin. He used to do some sort of live streams with those kind of guys, and he released an instrumental solo record last year. And on the first single, on the first release, oh man, he has an incredible tasteful solo on it. I'm talking about the song A Forbidden Icon, and here the cool thing is that it's not only a really good composition, a really good instrumental shred track, it's also, yeah, a really tasteful solo where he combines a lot of his shredding abilities, which are really awesome, and on the same kind of level like in Stephen Taranto or in Yo Onichan, together with some bluesy lines, with some blues influences, with really cool phrasing, and after that a really beautiful melodic lead guitar. I loved the solo the first time I heard it. It's a really incredible record. I can only recommend to you to check this one out. Morgan Reed, A Forbidden Icon, my number 9. Here we go. Number 8 is actually not really a solo, it's more of a section from one of my favorite modern shred guitar players. This is of course Jason Richardson. I'm talking here about the song Upside Down, the first song from his newest record, which I of course covered on this YouTube channel, so you are going to see the cover. Yes! And I'm talking about the last section, which was actually inspired by a German EDM, dance, electronic house musician called ZEN. Fun fact, even though he's German, I've never heard of him, not before I've seen the cover of Jason Richardson from this section. So yeah, he seems to be really big, but I've never heard of him, even for me as a German guy. But I really love this section. It's not easy to play, it was not easy to figure out and to cover. Yeah, another fun fact, I transcribed everything by ear from this cover just to find out that he was selling tabs after he released his songs, and I was biting my ass after I found out that there are actually already tabs existing after I've transcribed the songs for the last 7 hours or so. So yeah, this section is really powerful. It has a lot of energy in it and it's a lot of fun to listen to and of course to play to it. If you want to learn it, by the way, you can check out the lesson that I've made about this song. Click here in the info card. And I would say definitely the coolest section of the complete record. So here it is for you, Upside Down by Jason Richardson. Number 7 is again from a really incredible instrumental EP which was released in 2022, and I'm talking about Jack Gardiner and Ovane. These two guys, they bring the modern fusion game to the next level. Really awesome. I can't believe that for the next generation, for the younger kids, those two guys are what for me Guthrie Govan and Alex Hutchings was. So really tasteful, it makes a lot of fun to listen to, and I really like, especially in this EP, how Jack really showcased how he developed his own kind of style. Because I am following Jack now since 2011, 2012, the first time where he was on this kind of UK guitar show. I don't know the name right now. It was like a contest with a lot of big guys in there. Also my friend Nico Schliemann was on it. I don't know the name, Guitar Hero or something like that. Jack was always a really cool player with tasteful lines and tasteful phrasing, but his licks, you could clearly hear the influence from people like Tom Quayle, especially Tom Quayle. Yeah, a lot of Tom Quayle was inside of his playing up to a point. And now in the last couple of years, I think that he was developing more and more his kind of style, and his kind of unique and own style is really awesome. And especially in this year, he showed it with a new EP from Jack Gardiner and Ovane, what he's capable of. And I mostly like the last solo from their song Action Boys, where he's doing some really cool jazzy bebop kind of chromatical approaches, chromatic kind of lines, but still in a really tasteful sense, in a really tasteful context with a lot of tasteful phrasing in it. So it's really the next game of fusion. I really love this kind of vibe. The video is hilarious, so much fun to watch how Ovane is playing the guitar, shredding the guitar while surfing on a board and inside of the ocean, the water or whatnot. Really fun to look at. So here it is, the solo from Jack Gardiner from Action Boys. Number 6 is Kiko Loureiro, my good hero Kiko from Megadeth, because Megadeth was releasing a new record last year, and the solo that I choose from that record was We'll Be Back. There are tons of really awesome solos on this record, really. But I chose We'll Be Back as well as a personal kind of thing. Because, yeah, I'm going to play that solo in, around next week. So we are covering this song with Megadeth, my Megadeth tribute band. And every night when we are playing this song, it's always like, oh no, here it comes, that stupid chromatic line. And it's really, really tasteful, it's really, really awesome, but so hard to play fluently. And this is extremely incredible to see how Kiko is bringing his bebop jazz inspiration into thrash metal like Megadeth. I love this combination, I love what he's doing there on the new record, and especially on We'll Be Back. So this is my number 6. Number 5 is a Polyphia song, but the solo is neither from Tim Henson or from Scott LePage. It's from Grandmaster, Mr. Shred inventor himself, Steve Vai. It was really incredible in the song Ego Death to see how, the combination of Scott's and Tim's modern kind of playing, but then having a guitar player as a solo artist in there really kicks their asses. Because Steve is doing something which I kind of miss in Polyphia and in the playing of Tim Henson and Scott LePage. Now you could say it's a little bit kind of different style, but I wouldn't say it like that, because what I miss mostly in their kind of soloing is a good build-up, a good melody, a good developing of lines, of phrases, of musicality. This is not depending on which kind of style you are in. This is really important in every style. And it's cool to see how Steve, who really mastered this kind of art, the art of soloing, is showing those guys in their 30s, early 30s, I don't know how old they are. I think they are my age, kinda, I don't know. It's really showing them how it's been done, how you write a good solo. And this was an incredible moment for the guitar community, seeing how a 60-year-old guy can show some 30-year-old guys how to solo correctly. And this is why this is my number 5, Ego Death from Polyphia, but the solo is from Steve Vai. Number 4, one of my all-time favorite guitar players, Michael Romeo, Divide and Conquer. Ooh, and this solo really shows the style from Michael Romeo perfectly. It has the energy, it has the groove, it has the wildness in his phrases, but it also has the technicality is that even a word. It has the shreddiness, you know, it's like the melting pot of all the things that makes Michael Romeo so incredible. A lot of fun to listen to because of the energy, and this record itself is really awesome. The new vocalist really fits perfectly to this kind of style, but still, even though this record is really awesome, and the last one was as well, Michael, if anybody from Symphony X is seeing this, we need a new Symphony X record in 2023. Please make it happen. Leave a subscribe if you want a new Symphony X record in 2023. So here it is, my number 4, Divide and Conquer by Michael Romeo, in my cover version, of course. Number 3 is a really short solo from one of my all-time favorite modern Instagram kind of guitar players. I'm talking about none other than Stephen Taranto. Stephen was a part of the biggest shred jam from Jared Dines. A jam which kind of divided me, because there's a lot of really awesome, really cool, creative musical stuff inside of it. But also a lot of stuff which is pretty mediocre, pretty disappointing, and even sometimes pretty bad. There's stuff in there that I'm not a fan of, but stuff in there that I'm totally a fan of. And I think the one solo that really shows how it's been done, how you write an awesome shred solo, is the ones from Stephen Taranto. Because I love what he's doing here, you know, substituting all these kind of chords under the riff, you know, from going from the first chord minor to the second chord major with just a semitone in between there, changing the kind of style and the kind of vibe from the scale of it, because in the second chord major, the major third is in the same time the flat 5 from the first chord major, from the first chord minor, which is the root note, and what really incredible kind of style. Really awesome. And it sounds so tasteful and so great. And the technique, the execution, it's mind-blowing and jaw-dropping. And this is why I love Stephen Taranto. And this is why he is one of my favorite guitar players nowadays. So here is the best solo of the Shred Jam by Jared Dines, the one from Stephen Taranto, and my number 3. Number 2 was kind of a surprise for me this year, because it's a band that I discovered this year, which are already pretty big. And I'm talking about the band called Avatar. I played with them 2 shows this year with one of my bands as an opener, and I had an awesome time hanging around with the 2 guitar players, Tim and Kungan, who are really incredible creative guys. And even though their solos are not that shreddy like other solos, they are, and this is way more important in soloing, really tasteful and creative. And especially in their build-up, how they develop a solo. It's so awesome. The song I choose as my number 2, which is my second favorite solo from the year 2022, is the song Valley of Disease. And how they are taking motifs, you know, like rhythmical motifs and harmonic motifs, and developing them into other ideas and creating new things out of them is really, this is how you should do it. Listen to it, and the next time if you're asking yourself, okay, I'm writing a solo but something is missing, listen to this solo and think, do you have some sort of the same ideas, the same philosophy behind your solo like this solo, if you know what I mean. I'm talking a little bit gibberish here right now, but this is because I'm talking about solos that makes me really exciting, and this is one of them. Because this solo really stuck in your head, and it's the highlight of the song. It's one of the greatest solos from 2022, and I can't wait for their new record to release next month in February. So here it is for you, my number 2 by the great guys Tim and Kungan. Thank you for this from Avatar. Keep going. Okay, my number 1 is also a solo from good friends of mine. It's from a record which is my favorite record of 2022. It's from the Obsidious record, and the song is Iron and Dust. I absolutely love this record. It's the best progressive technical metal / death metal kind of record that was released in the last couple of years. I mean, I'm a little bit biased, yeah, because I play with Linus, a bass player in one band, and I know Raphael, and I know Sebastian. They are really awesome guys. They are one of the best musicians out there currently, and they really show their musicianship in this record. Because not only is it extremely progressive, extremely aggressive, and extremely powerful, it's also well composed, really good arrangements, really good melodies. And the cool thing about the solos in this record is the complete record is absolute shred and really technical. Ooh, that's one of the hardest stuff that you have out there on this record, and the most complex stuff. But the solos, they are a little bit more melodic, and Raphael is really showing his fusion kind of side. He already did this in Obscura as well, but yeah, he really focused more on great melodies, great build-up, great intensity, whatnot, and this kind of solos, and especially in the one from Iron and Dust. I mean, I love this song, the riffing really phenomenal, the build up for the solo really cool, this cool 8-bit kind of arpeggio thing, synthesizer thing in front of the solo, really awesome. Then the solo starts, and especially the band, Linus and Sebastian, they are not like the usual metal band or playing their usual metal grooves and their usual metal kind of rhythm section. No, it's really like when a death metal band is suddenly transforming into a jazz trio, like 3 people jamming over a jazz standard, over a fusion standard. And this combination blew my mind, and here it is for you. Obsidious with Iron and Dust. I hope you liked this little video. If you liked this little video, I would be really pleased if you could hit the subscribe button, and I hope I'm going to see you in my next video. Cheers so far, stay progress, goodbye.